Hello students, I hope you all fine. In this video session, we are going to learn 7th Standard English Unit 2 Supplementary, the Red-Headed League.
Dear students, today we are going to learn Unit 2 Supplementary, the Red-Headed League. Now we'll see the author of this story, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He was born on 22 May 1859. He was a British writer and medical doctor. He created the character Sherlock Holmes in 1887 when he published a Study in Scarlet, the first of 4 novels and more than 50 short stories about Holmes and Dr. Watson. Now we'll see the characters of the story. Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective. Here detective means a person, especially police officer, whose occupation is to investigate and solve crime. Next is Dr. Watson, a doctor and Sherlock's friend. Jabez Wilson, a red-haired shopkeeper. Vincent Spaulding, Wilson's assistant and also known as John Clay. Next, Duncan Rose, Spaulding's accomplice means partner in crime, a man with red hair. Mr. Jones, a detective from Scotland Yard. Here 2 red-handed characters is there, Jabez Wilson and Duncan Rose. Now we'll enter into the story. Dr. Watson visits the apartment of his friend Sherlock Holmes. He finds Detective Holmes talking to a client with bright red hair, Mr. Jabez Wilson. Holmes asks Dr. Watson to hear the unusual story of the client. Wilson says that he runs a pawn shop. One day in his shop, his assistant Vincent Spaulding showed an advertisement in the newspaper that announced an opening in the Red-Headed League. Here league means it is a group or group of people. The announcement promised a salary of £4 a week. Spaulding urged Wilson to apply. The timid red-haired pawnbroker did so. Wilson was accepted into the league by Mr. Duncan Rose, the head of the league. He learned that the nominal duties consisted only of his coming to the office from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. each day and copying out the Encyclopedia Britannica in longhand. Here encyclopedia means a book or set of book that gives information about many subjects arranged in the order of alphabets A to Z. This he did for 8 weeks until one day he arrived at the office to find it closed, with a notice on the door that the Red-Headed League had been dissolved. He was so disturbed by the thought that someone had been playing a practical joke on him that he came to Holmes for a solution. Holmes promised to look into the case and Wilson leaves. Holmes and Dr. Watson moved to the Wilson shops in Saxe-Coburg Square at once. Let's see what had happened when they reached their shop. Holmes and his friend Dr. Watson visits Mr. Wilson's shop at Saxe-Coburg Square. He walks in front of the shop and taps the ground with his walking stick. He knocks the shop door and Spaulding opens. The legs of his trousers are dirty. Holmes asked Spaulding the way to Strand, pretty well knowing it. Holmes asked Dr. Watson to meet him at 10 o'clock. After that, Holmes, Dr. Watson, and Mr. Jones and a policeman await for the thief at the bank. You know who was Jones? A detective from Scotland Yard. They hide themselves behind the boxes. At 11:15 p.m., Spaulding and Rose come from underground, and they are caught. Spaulding is recognized to be the notorious thief John Clay. Later, Holmes explains to Dr. Watson that the Red-Headed League was just created to keep Wilson away from his shop. When he went for work daily, they had time to make the tunnel. Holmes doubted Spaulding as he worked for off wages and was in the cellar most of the time. Cellar means an underground room that is used for storing things. When Holmes hit the ground with his walking stick and saw Spaulding's trousers dirty, he understood that he is making a tunnel from the pawn shop to the bank at the back of the shop in the next street. As the Red-Headed League was dissolved and it was Sunday, Holmes was sure that thieves would come and he caught them red-handed. A huge bank robbery was cleverly stopped. Dear students, I hope you all understand. Let's see the glossary. Strong room. A room in a bank designed to protect valuable items against fire and theft. Cracks. A wooden box used for transporting goods. Investigation. Systematic examination. Tunnel. An artificial underground passage. Notorious. Famous for some bad qualities. Cellar. Lower ground floor, basement. Recognized, identified. Thank you.